Hello everyone, this is Dr. Shijun Wang. In today's video, I am going to continue working on the Chopin First Ballade, Opus 23. In the previous video, we stopped at around measure 82, right after this beautiful singing melody. And we talked about how after 8 measures of the first statement, in the second statement, I think Chopin intended to hint us to emphasize the tenor voice. And why is that? Just by one little marking, he wanted us to roll the first interval, which is a perfect fourth, C to F. And that's probably a very bizarre indication because that is not wide. Everyone can reach it. But this really reminded us that a lot in many situations when the composer wants to roll something, it's not just because it's so wide people cannot reach. For the rolled chord, another very significant benefit of that rolled chord writing is so that we can very easily voice something. Yeah, because it's not together. Yeah, when we try to voice something together and playing together, that's difficult. But here, since the C plays before the F, that makes it much easier. And the harmonic progression in the second statement is very similar, where basically the first half of it is exactly the same as the first statement from measure 68. However, the first change is the C. Not that the first statement is not C, it's still C, but 2 octaves higher. And it was from here, it's a drop of 7ths, still something significant. But here, yeah, it's something that you drop from a B flat to a C almost 3 octaves below. And what's the meaning behind that? I think, again, Chopin wanted us to take time. Yeah, if this is not written for piano, if this is any other instrument, yeah, string, wind, or even for singing, I don't know if that's possible to leap 3 octaves down or up. But here, yeah, we have to feel like from here to here, filled with emotion, yeah, filled with tension. From here, therefore delay that a little bit. Yeah, this tenor voice again, and I think it's the answer of what Chopin did in that tenor voice in measure 76. Yeah, a major second, a minor second, and here major second. Yeah, so it's the reversed, but the same motive. And here in measure 85, a lot of times the student overlook the significance of the triplets. Because from measure 82, it's eighth note and then triplets. So that triplet really makes the music flow better. But here, almost like we're feeling the resistance. Resist and then let go. But from 85, that's all triplets. There's no more eighth notes. So that's something I think musically Chopin wanted us to flow even more. In the next part, in measure 94, yeah, it's really the exact same motive as the very beginning. Even the harmonic progression are very similar, just in a different key. But there's a couple of things that is different. One is that the left hand now joins the right hand. Yeah? Instead of one hand, but and also this is not something. When we look at one section or one passage, we have to compare it to what's coming. Yeah. So the first time, what's coming behind this part is still pretty calm. So the first time when we have that motive, it really functions as a just introduction. But here, this is something that will eventually pushes the music to in measure 124 fortissimo, which is really the loudest ever. Yeah, Chopin would ever put. Never 4 Fs, yeah, never fortissimo, but this is as loud as Chopin wants. So really, you have this 30 measures of pushing, of constant development of emotional intensity, of the volume. So here we have to really make sure that we're not doing the crescendo too early. Yeah, we're doing calculated development so that after 29 measures it's still pushing up. It always drops. Drop. And here what comes back is this this eighth note rest. Yeah, and again it really functions as a very urgent breath mark. Yeah, almost like like that. So but then we can have this eighth note breath mark shorter and shorter to show the intensity or show something being very intense. Yeah? Urgent. Here, many things we need to take care of. The biggest thing is balance. Yeah, left hand has 6 notes per measure, right hand has only 3. So left hand has to know the fortissimo is really not for every note. Okay. However, the left hand, every measure it's very busy. It has many chords. But you have really one harmony, yeah, at the very beginning, one harmony per measure. So all of these is the different positions of the same chord, yeah, this E dominant 7 chord. So every time we would like a shape to the top, and then the shape to the top and go down. One is that it makes the left hand more interesting. The other very, very important function of doing that is so that the right hand From the first note to the second note, which really was sitting on a long note, doesn't feel like it's a diminuendo. It's not. However, yeah, and something probably people are very used to, but really it's a surprising fact. Um, if we compare this with the second scherzo, which I taught about, uploaded the entire series about a month ago, in the in this singing section, I don't know how long are the slurs. Yeah, 20 measures, 30 measures, it doesn't really have a break. But here, 2 measures, 1 measure, it's really short for Chopin. But one thing in common is the use of repeated notes. Yeah, here, and I talked about how he uses one single repeated notes to kind of glue together two phrases. Yeah, one is the end of the phrase, the other is the opening of another phrase. Here it's the same trick. Yeah, sometimes it's an octave above, but it's the same note. So instead of finished and then a new phrase, this so between the new phrase and then the old phrase is always kind of there is a common thread, which is the common note. Yeah, so don't decay that note, but develop that note. And then later, let's in measure 110 here. So I heard so many students in different levels miss this part. Yeah, wrong notes or not fast enough. Or the most frustrating problem is actually when they reached here, which has so much emotion, they play it so lightly. Yeah, so it really doesn't carry the same what Chopin intended. So a couple of solutions here I can suggest. One, this is really, you have 8. You have 8 eighth note in a row, pretty fast. But that's what we see musically. Yeah, musically those 8 octave notes are in one phrasing, in one phrase, but technically we should break them into smaller chunks. So although when I play, you cannot hear that I actually mentally break them into 3 pieces, but I'm actually really thinking of 1, 2, 3, 1. And the most important thing is the reason we break that into different smaller pieces, yeah, 3 or 2, is because we want all the notes to be deep enough. A lot of wrist motion, a lot of arm and body weight, so that when we reached this kind of emotional height, we're not playing something that light. The same thing also works with the later the octave scales. Yeah? I'm again, we're thinking of them as 2 notes per gesture, but then it's one big musical phrase going up. Okay, so the most important is really not to play it 100%. It's not to play fast and accurate, but to play deep. Okay, because when we produce piano sound from the bottom of the keys, that's when the sound and the tone can be the most expressive. And here again, this octave scale going up, we have 3 times, and the last time it reaches really the very climax of the entire piece. Yeah, if we don't say of the entire Chopin repertoire. So here we can really broaden the rhythm. Yeah, slow down a little bit. And then there's a new section coming up, which we will work on together next week. Thank you for watching. If you haven't subscribed my channel, please do so by click the subscribe. And if you turn on the little bell, you will be notified when I upload the next episode next week. Thank you for watching. See you next week.